Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Hope your year has started beautifully and you are having a great time. And if it's been a while and you'd like to check in with me, you can hop on crystallineguidance.com and book your quantum energy healing or mentoring spiritual coaching session. In this video, we're going to have a message from Saint Germain and the Keepers of Knowledge. I got to know them through the astral projection and visiting the Temple of Healing. There will be a gathering, our group healing, and we're going to visit that Temple of Healing together. So stay tuned. In this message, you might find that your inner work is paying off in the sense of becoming aware, more astute, more advanced on your spiritual path, which is encouraging given the fact that many are releasing their karmic patterns and are ready for the next level of evolution. So let's begin. Prevailing status granted to the ones who adhere to the words we speak through the beloved recorder. Once the veils of continuous demagogue deluge are released and many ones of you can see beyond your usual limitations, thank us not. Go and thank your Heavenly Father. Greetings. On behalf of those who are contemplating the course of events on global scale and further on your soul's evolution, the everyday person who isn't concerned is what concerns us. Beloveds, we want you to understand that direct outcome depends on your very actions, whether you believe or not. These outcomes are strong derivative realities from the state you are in now. What we're saying is, depending on how you do in this lifetime, this magical moment of transformation will dictate where you'll move next. What looks like a long dragging shift is actually like a blink of an eye on our side, and it is concluding for many, for it is a personal journey as well as the collective's. Every time you hear people talking about energy upscale or speed up, this is because they themselves elevated their frequencies to be able to notice and feel. Until this time, whoever hasn't will not notice any difference. And that is the answer. You are the ones who needs to raise the understanding of who you are and why you are here to partake from every next ride that the cosmic flow brings. Everyone is experiencing energy influx on a personal level, where it could be a roller coaster for some and barely noticeable for others. Again, it is by the individual's inner progress. The planet isn't going to shift in a day. It is a process that takes decades upon decades. You see that with your technological advancement comes the question of morale upon life, free will, and segregation. It isn't for everyone, yet the ones not wanting to participate will gradually move away from this artificial light. Those of you who work with energies know how crucial it is to cleanse your body, mind, spirit, and home of everything pollution. This pollution isn't just in the elements, but in the empty spaces of what you think as nothing. It is in those that you ought to understand how you are influenced with programmings and thought patterns, meaning you see what you want to see, or better yet, you see what you are programmed to see. So then, how to get yourself off this continuous loop within the labyrinth of someone else's mind? Break free. Think for yourself. What to say, what not to say, what to be, what not to be. It is about your conscious thought and thought pattern. How else can you derive the most appropriate for your evolution? Believe when we say it isn't only for those who can't grasp gradual upgrade, but is required systemically for those interested in the overall progression, for all are desired to progress. Even the most unconscious beings, when surrounded by elevated energies, are nearly forced into a different pattern. That is why nothing stays the same, and if it does, it dies. Stagnant living brings the same results until there are none. It is our desire that your dreams come true, as you say. It is also our desire that you adhere to the voices calling you to slow down and listen to your innate. Regardless of what is the inevitable for your physical lives, the spirit needs direction upward, of course. You, as ones who is attached to the spirit, soul to the body, carry a big responsibility for your progress. For instance, learning, getting closer to understanding what keeps your universe flow is the same as what keeps your body going. And we aren't speaking of food and entertainment that many of you indulge in, as it is a creation of someone else's mind. What does your mind say? Anything allowed in your vicinity, whichever dimensional scale you are looking at, must be productive. This productivity is for the next step, and the next, for your spirit, so to speak. We all want continuity for you, expansion, moving up the ladder. And in order for your soul to grow, it also requires expansion. Quieting your mind and immersing in peaceful projections is what you are needing at times. Complete mental silence, where the only action welcomed is peace. Visit places on the astral planes, anything from sacred gardens to libraries, record rooms to schools. Get to know higher level of existence while in the body. It is of much benefit to your aspects. You will meet beings and characters who'll feel familiar. That confirmation, knowing that they might be real after all, is what will open you up for more expansion. What if what you are currently wanting is right around the corner, yet not visible to your senses? What if the most desirable isn't so hard to get? Well-informed is greatly prepared to manifest desires. What do you desire? When the time comes, the student must be ready for something new and, most importantly, independent. It is our job to ensure you are capable of doing this task. We are the gatekeepers of knowledge, and we're willing to share some knowledge with you. From the olden times, there was a Christ-light being who walked the earth looking for someone he could teach. He wandered from lands to lands, villages to villages, until one day he came across a little child, boy, nay 8 years old, who was playing with sticks and dirt by the river bank not too far from his home. When the child turned around to see whose shadow covered his clay castle, he recognized a great teacher, someone he was meant to meet in his life from the beginning of his days. The teacher knew he found the one, and so the boy got up and led the teacher to the spot where the teacher sat on a flat rock to instruct the child. The boy, let's call him Samuel, sat at his teacher's feet and listened intently, getting charged by the sparks in the teacher's eyes. When the teacher relayed everything he felt Samuel could grasp at the time, he sighed and concluded, "Well, Samuel, now you will know what God's power can do for you and your village. Go and tell everyone to expect good to come to their land." The teacher got up, said something to Samuel with his eyes, knowing the boy heard it with his heart, and both parted ways. The next day Samuel woke up from what he thought was a vivid dream. He ran to the spot where he hoped the teacher would still be sitting, but saw serene morning with the sun rising above the horizon. He climbed and sat on the rock himself, contemplating whether it was a dream or real, when he heard a very familiar voice. "Does it even matter?" Samuel smiled, realizing the paradox, because what was important is what the teacher taught him. Somehow he thought he didn't learn as much as was reminded of knowledge he possessed within. Samuel felt the words spoken by the teacher. After all, he was only 8. How could he understand complicated concepts with his child's mind, he thought. "Well, I guess it is time," said Samuel, and went to his home. There, his mother prepared breakfast and expected him to come to eat at any moment. She smiled when she saw him come in. Samuel sat at the table, starting to eat his porridge, while having a deep thinking sage look on his face. Mother nearly laughed. "Samuel, did God speak to you again?" The boy was flabbergasted at such nonchalant remark from his mother. "Why, yes, Mother. How did you know?" She replied, "Because you have the same look on your face every time this happens." The boy was even more surprised. "This happened before?" "Why, surely, son, this happens every year. There is some teacher who visits you, and then you miss him for days." "Have you seen him?" asked Samuel, hoping for more details to add to his memories. "No, Sonny. Usually you tell us the whole story yourself, about the sun descending to earth, illuminating all the inhabitants until each and every one of them is filled with light. They feel whole and complete, convinced of doing only goodness for one another and remembering God every day. This is a beautiful story, and the rest you say you forgot, but the teacher promised you'd remember in due time." "That's right," said Samuel, finishing his breakfast. His mother kissed him on the forehead for finishing his meal and let him go play. This year, Samuel thought, is different. This year, I will remember more. He went outside, found a stick, and started drawing on the sand. When he was done, it looked more like the sunrise over the water he's seen many times before. "What is the significance?" he thought to himself. "Why would a sunrise be important?" "Because it is a symbol of illumination to the people," he heard in his mind. Samuel climbed on the rock and looked around. There he realized that the sun sees all when it shines on all, but all do not realize they are being seen. And that was the secret the teacher said Samuel would remember on his own. Beloveds, despite your busy lives, you must remember that God forces are always observing the inhabitants in desperate hopes that people would remember they are connected to light as they are bathed in it, from sunrise to sunset and beyond. Remembering your heavenly team is crucial to survival of the cataclysmic events not so in the distant future, that when each awakens to their powers of slowing the intensity, the elements will listen and subside. They're only acting up because they're mirroring people's havoc in the minds. However long it takes for the abolishment of current systems, that is how long the times of change will take. Yet we say, it doesn't need be, if only you remember. The times spoken of are currently being lived by you, and very much active, acting as a catalyst for the mass realization they aren't the only intelligent entities in the cosmic soup of life. The culmination of events takes place when the last lost sheep, so to speak, comes to their senses. Then, sayonara. But what will everyone who is remembering do until the last one? They all must use their powers of co-creation and work with us to diminish the intensity of the forces. See, natural disasters differ from man-made in a sense that the elements are more willing to adhere to people's cry for survival. The man-made ones, however, are best dealt with before they are affecting the land. Then how will we know if by the time we see it, it might be too late? You may ask. And it is with the daily morning and night prayers for peace and tranquility in your hearts and minds. It isn't enough to have peace between the nations. The hearts must be at peace, which means delivering any form of obsession, addiction, struggle, and pain to your Creator, and taking in unconditional love, courage, peace, and wisdom. It is those mature in their spirit who comprehend the words we speak. The rest will take it as a nice message. Regardless of the number of non-believers, those of you who believe, you are enough. Do not wait for more. Take action and protect the sphere so that in return, when her Atman moves to her higher version, you may go with her if you so wish. What happens there is for you to take charge and rebuild. What is left behind is on the mercy of those who chose to not move ahead. But hear us as we speak. The times are coming when what you got used to and comfortable with will be no more. For that which is unnatural for human evolution will not be. Until then, do as you wish, and we hope what you do is according to your innate guidance. This won't be the first and not the last time we'll witness the events. Our only hope is justification of heavenly realm, for all must remember God in all the glory. Do not underestimate the times. It isn't all as it is portrayed. Let your hearts dictate how it really is. Let the earth herself tell you what is in the making. Let the elements share their magnificence and readiness to accomplish what they contracted millenniums ago. All is ready. All are ready. The only ones in question are the very minds who claim to be intelligent and saved. Not unless you remember your divine roots and live in the name of holy. It is surely a delicate topic for many, but look no further than cyclical changes which are always accompanied by such grandeur as Mayan, Atlantean, and other civilizations. It is all in the open. Your holy books, writings, scrolls, wonders of the earth, ancient structures, crop circles, all out in the open. The moral of the story is that when one desires to achieve inner greatness, there lies power that will manifest in time. The hunger for knowledge, desire to discover what isn't commonly known, the beyond mundane, and full force into the uncharted, the depths where mystery and wonder show the way. Wondering why it is set this way? Trust that it will be revealed when the wanderer is ready. Nothing is lost and unnoticed, all seen, everything recorded, as you make up the levels of breakthrough yourself. It is in the hands of everyone to achieve the goals they set before coming to this planet. And as it is moving forward, time to play the hard game lessens, for it isn't going to last forever. There have been events of monumental proportions, countless times, where the civilization had to start from scratch, because it got stuck up in their ways, thinking they can take over and become like gods. Mortals, where is your humility? You are at the precipice of forgetting again, and we say it again. Relieve yourselves from obsession now, for it is easier to heal on your own time than out of necessity. The world doesn't always remember that God exists. They live from morning coffee to a night TV show, having gone through motions to satisfy bodily needs, and when alarm goes off, another same story is repeated, with special events and holidays in between. How is it that they don't get tired of the same year after year? Short memory span and empty promises equals brainwashing. Only words echoing, escape, ascend. Expectation for great multitudes to ascend is at least 1%. If you can get your internal system to vibrate in proportion to what is needed to match your light body, then you are saving yourself. Think of a vibratory rate. The higher, the lighter. The closer you get to vibrating to what will help you cross over, the easier it will be to see the opportunity to move through. Say the being's energy field is vibrating slower. They won't be able to initiate their transfer. As you might have heard, you are your own savior. Think of billions of people. The majority aren't interested in evolution. That brings the number down to millions who do ask the bigger questions. Amongst those, there are only select who are, as your master said, in this world, but not of it. This is because not everything is as it seems. The majority of people who do have desire for more in life derive their information from similar beings who generally speak the same words as their colleagues. Just like the news anchors, they all read the same script. This is because people cannot gain access to the laws of the universe. Therefore, they get information from each other, who are in the same business, if you will. What concerns us is the people who cannot always decipher whether they are taking more of the informational melatonin under disguise of blue or red pill. Yet if you hear the same information across, it is all the same. For what you are seeking is personal to you and will not be found from generalized presentations with potential misinformation. Therefore, we encourage the seeker to develop to higher levels of awareness yourselves in order to enter the fifth dimensional state, taking your body with you. The rest will be organized according to their vibratory rate. The lifestyle advertised to a spiritual seeker as if it's for the awakened, such as microdosing, collective gathering for nature worship, or podcasting with similar-minded people, does not awaken you. It is much simpler. In exercising compassion, kindness, and care to those in need, and there are many starving for knowledge, we ask that you learn to feed off of the heavenly table directly, as what you'll eat from so-called influencers at times will be addictions, dopamine, and mental slavery. We'd like to assure you that you do not need to become an enlightened being who can elevate their body to have access to the pool of God's wisdom. It only takes purity of heart, desire to get closer to God, and being open to any correction that your counselors will share with you. This path is that of a purification, which means much will be changed, transcended, and evolved. Within, it is all an internal path, connection between a creature and their creator, between the emanation and God. That is your holy truth, your internal temple. Each of you is unique, as each emanation is one of a kind. That is what we want to convey to you. It is always between you and God. Go on then, and learn about divine ways and how you came about through sharing of agape love. There isn't a dust particle that isn't known. All is seen. All are heard. All desire to elevate to the state of Christ. We bid you peace, and shall speak again. All right, that was a beautiful message, a lot of deep concepts. Hopefully you liked the story about the teacher and a young student. That was very unexpected when it was coming through. I am very happy to share this with you. And there will be more. As always, if you have questions, comment. Have a beautiful day.